Warhorse sent me the new Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 DLC, The Legacy of the Forge, and I've had it for about a week now, so I could check it out and give you guys this review. But honestly, I think they undersold just how good this DLC is. It's quite literally game-changing. It adds an entirely new way to experience the medieval world of Kingdom Come. Even if you've already finished the main story like I had, I was kind of like, is there going to be a reason for people to go back and actually play this or not? And I was in those shoes, and man, I'm glad I did, and I'm glad I invested in so much time playing it, because I felt like this DLC answered a lot of the questions that I had after finishing the main story of Kingdom Come 2. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just get one thing straight. Because at first glance, you might think that this DLC is all about being a blacksmith and rebuilding your forge. It has those things in it for sure, but it's not just about that. In fact, while you can now roleplay as a full-time smith, the story only forces you to smith 2 items. And in fact, you can completely fail at making one of them, and that leads to some rather funny consequences, but you can still continue the story. The real surprise is how much more the DLC offers through its side content, its progression, and the hidden stories you can unveil here. Some of the side content even drops some big hints about where Kingdom Come Deliverance 3 is going to be based. I do find overall that the more time I invest into the DLC, even after finishing its main story, the more it surprises me and gives back. So in this quick review, I want to explain what you can expect so you can figure out whether it's for you or not. But man, I reckon you're going to be impressed with it. So the Legacy of the Forge adds 15 to 20 hours of new content into the game, but you can actually play it infinitely, and I'll explain how and what I mean by that in a moment. But here's a quick summary of what the DLC offers before we deep dive into my thoughts. So firstly, you can rebuild your own forge and the surrounding courtyard buildings. The forge also has a customizable player home room which you can decorate, and a lot of the items you can put there also give you very unique and interesting buffs to Henry. You can also decorate the facade of the building as well and paint it with pretty colors as you progress. You will need to level up your new prestige skill though to unlock all of these new mechanics and decorations for the forge. And it kind of works as a balancing system, so you can't just go in with tons of money and buy everything immediately. There's also a new main quest line that connects you with your father's story and his old friends. And that also comes up in the side quests too, so the more digging you do, the more you're rewarded. And there's a series of daily repeatable guild activities that sounded really boring to me initially, but they're actually one of my favorite parts. They're a lot of fun, they have a lot of funny quirks and things about them beyond just go and smith this hammer. And every few quests, you actually progress an underlying storyline which rewards you with unique items, but Henry can still only smith weapons. You will need to find the new armorer and founder who basically cast things for you, and they'll craft the new armor set and different weapons from the new recipes that you find. But the DLC starts off in Kuttenberg, which is the second region of the game. And there you're going to find your father's old forge, which you can now interact with. But unfortunately, the place is now ruins. And there are a lot of secrets that you can discover about what actually happened to the forge, why it burnt down. And interestingly, it's not even part of the main story. You have to really read through some old journals and letters and dig around yourself instead of the game just handing you that answer on a plate. And it is very enjoyable and rewarding to do. But anyway, you start out cleaning and rebuilding the old forge before you can even start decorating it with new items and buildings. And then most of the items that you can then add give you different buffs depending on your playstyle. Like when you next pass out, you just wake up in this bed. Or this one boosts your stamina by 20% when you sleep in it. This table gives you better prices. This one boosts your range damage. You also get a new sales chest, and anything you put in here will get sold randomly on a daily basis. So now all the armor and stuff that you normally couldn't sell, you know, when you would kill loads of bandits, you'd have all this expensive gear, you just put it in this chest now and it gets sold daily. You also get this wardrobe that repairs all your gear depending on what wardrobe you select. And there's even a pet bird that you can train to do certain tasks for you, but I will let you discover that for yourself. Now, I go over every single one of these items and what they all do very quickly in my part 1 video. It's timestamped in that video if you want to check it out. I'll link it below in the description. But I actually found myself swapping out these items for different bonuses depending what I was doing. If you actually played A Brush with Death as well, you can also hang up all of your painted shields and crafted weapons around your bedroom to decorate it, which is like a cool sort of personal detail. There's hundreds of different options here as well, but everything has a fixed place. Like if you want to build your bed, you have to put it in the bed spot. There's lots of beds and colors to pick, but they all have to go in that spot. This wasn't really a problem for me. I kind of like how everything was laid out, and to be honest, once I built things and how I liked it, I left it like that for a while until I unlocked something else. And lots of other cool things. But if you go outside, you can also rebuild the whole courtyard area. It starts as a literal ruin before you start adding the foundry and the armorers for your smith to work in. And then you can also add a stable for pebbles. You can get a beehive for food and the Farkle table for the lads. There's also a smokehouse. Basically, all of the mechanics that are in the game have been put in one place, which is like your player home base. Alchemy lab. Henry even has his unique beer that he can now brew once you upgrade the cellar as well. So for the first time in the series, it frankly feels like Henry finally has a home, and once you experience it, you will not be able to go back. But early on, you're limited by what you can actually build due to your prestige level. So even though I had like 77,000 groschen when I started this DLC, I couldn't go and build the best forge straight away. I had to slowly level up my prestige by doing these guild activities and quests, and then that unlocked all of these new upgrades that I could slowly apply to my forge. And this ended up creating a much better feeling of realistic progression, since you end up slowly improving the place as you play. Now, to actually level up your prestige skill, you'll need to do the guild activities and the main DLC quest, which is about repairing the Kuttenberg clock, which sounds pretty boring, but it's a hilarious quest line with lots of fun and banter. And this basically connects you with your father's old friends and gives you some more details about his time in Kuttenberg. And the story is probably only like 20% of the actual content of the DLC. What really surprised me was the guild side quests. So after unlocking the forge, you'll start getting random side quests every day at 9 AM. And these appear all over the map with these little new guild icons. And initially, these activities may sound rather boring, or rather like cookie cutter and simple. They basically range from dueling people, anything from a random peasant to a noble knight that has a unique shield that you can steal. You have to like go and fight them in a fist fight. This one has you playing Farkle for the guild, and some of the more unique ones have you trying to win new unique golden badges that you can choose to give to the person who requests it or not. There's archery contests as well for lots of different styles of archery, which are really fun. It kind of felt a bit like, you know, horse racing, where they made it a bit more unique than it was before. And there's also some stories that take place at the archery contest, so it's not just archery shooting. Then you can also, obviously, as you're a blacksmith, you can take requests for smithing different weapons from different townspeople, and they also always have like a little story or something to go with it. And you can get thief missions that have you stealing certain items too. You can now investigate stolen goods as well. So you get sent off to a random bandit camp and you have to take back the stolen possessions. This is also the main source of crafting recipes, because you'll find them randomly in the chests here. And then you can choose whether or not that you want to return the goods or sell them to somebody else. Now, the great thing about this is that it's repeatable and it spawns lots of bandits. So if you want to just go and fight some bandits and you cleared out all the bandits already, don't worry, it just immediately spawns them back. So it's actually a pretty fun way of getting money and just jumping into combat again consistently. And as I said, every single day at 9 AM, all of these quests reset. So if like you get some you don't like or you can't be bothered with, just wait till the next day and you'll get a bunch of new potential quests that you can start. However, while some side quests are quite basic, others go the extra mile to tell a unique or funny story. And sometimes you'll find that these quests are actually connected to a deeper plot. So one guy who came to my forge claimed he had found the broken Excalibur, but once I reforged it, it turned out to be a fake. And there's like a whole funny situation with that, where you go back and forth with this guy. He's constantly trying to sell you unique legendary blades and scam you out of your money. And then sometimes he comes up with something that's actually pretty good. And one of the plots was so deep that it was honestly more interesting than the main DLC storyline to me, because it felt like I was truly uncovering something sinister and really discovering the true legacy of the Forge, as it were. I don't want to spoil that though, but just know that if you keep up with some of these rather generic looking activities, you will be rewarded with cool bits of story. So the legacy of the Forge isn't just more content, it changes how you experience Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. The Forge feels like Henry's permanent home. You've got your friends there and the people that you meet along the journey too. This DLC gives me a feeling of progression. There's customization there to make it my own, and also hidden storylines that reward you for digging deeper. And it's all these things that make this DLC feel alive in a way that I was honestly surprised by, because on the surface it seemed like, oh yeah, you get a Forge, you get to smith some new stuff, but way more than that. So if you love Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, you want more of it, but in a different way, definitely recommend coming back to the game to try this DLC out. Leave a like if you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you in the next one. I mean, was it a review? I mean, I don't really have... I was trying to think of negative things to say, but like I was thoroughly surprised and really enjoyed it.